Stop planting these cottage garden perennials. If you've been yanking the same seedlings 3 springs in a row, here's the thing. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just fighting their biology, and biology doesn't quit. 3 things from this video. 1. Which 7 plants are biological bullies, and exactly how they spread. 2. 7 well-behaved alternatives, with the science behind why each one stays put. 3. A side-by-side ASPCA check of all 14 plants. Pet owners, you'll want to stay. Before you scroll, one quick number. Research from the Canadian Journal of Plant Science found a single yarrow plant releases an average of 1,600 seeds per season. Maximum recorded, 6,000. Its rhizomes spread 15 to 25 centimeters a year. And the foxglove next to it? ASPCA Animal Poison Control lists it as potentially fatal to dogs and cats. Which 3 plants are that dangerous? That's coming at the 9-minute mark. Here's the plan for the next 10 minutes. First, why 3 of the most popular cottage perennials are biological bullies, with the data behind each one. Second, 7 well-behaved alternatives, with the biological reason each one stays put. Third, the action plan. What to do today if you already have these plants, and how to rebuild your border for under $80. Stick around for the cost breakdown near the end. One thing I'll be upfront about. The pet safety data varies plant by plant. 3 of the 7 alternatives have ASPCA confirmed non-toxic status. For the others, I'll tell you exactly what we know and what we don't. No blanket claims here. Let's start with the problem. The plants I'm about to describe aren't bad plants. They're doing exactly what evolution built them to do. The problem is we put them inside a 3-foot border and expected them to stay there. Let's start with yarrow. Achillea millefolium. Drought-tolerant, butterflies love it, beautiful in every catalog photo. Here's why it takes over. Research published in the Canadian Journal of Plant Science, Bordeaux and colleagues, 1,985, tracked seed production across multiple seasons. 1 plant. Average 1,600 seeds per season. Maximum recorded, 6,000. And that's before the underground runners, those rhizomes that spread 15 to 25 centimeters per year in every direction from the crown. That's it. 1 plant, 2 ways to spread. Foxglove uses a different strategy. Technically biennial, flowers in year 2, dies. But the seeds it drops before dying stay viable in your soil for 5 years or more. Research by Grime and colleagues found germination rates above 80% in moist conditions, even after years in the ground. The parent plant dies, the next generation is already waiting in the soil. Between 1,200 and 5,000 seeds per plant, depending on conditions. Lady's Mantle, Alchemilla mollis. The one with the velvety leaves and chartreuse flowers in every cottage planting guide. The RHS describes it as a prolific self-seeder. A subscriber in Ohio told me she spent 3 consecutive weekends pulling Lady's Mantle seedlings from a single 4-foot section of border. Same 4 feet. 3 weekends. These plants aren't bad, they're just too good at what they do. Now, some of you have these plants, and they've been fine for years. If you deadhead every stem before it sets seed and edge the rhizome line every spring, yarrow and foxglove absolutely can be managed. The question is whether you want to spend that time managing them or do something more enjoyable with it. If you can pull a weed, you can replant this border. No special tools, no digging. That's all it takes. But the management question is only part of the problem. Foxglove isn't just a border bully. It might be the single most dangerous plant in your cottage garden if you have pets. And that's what we're covering next. According to ASPCA Animal Poison Control, the leading veterinary toxicology resource in the United States, 4 of the most commonly recommended cottage garden plants are confirmed toxic to dogs and cats. Starting with yarrow. Alkaline and sesquiterpene lactones. Causes vomiting, diarrhea, and skin sensitivity. Uncomfortable and vet-worthy. Not usually fatal. Foxglove is a different category. Cardiac glycosides, specifically digoxin and digitoxin. These compounds interfere directly with the heart's electrical rhythm. ASPCA lists foxglove as potentially fatal to dogs, cats, and horses. 1 leaf is enough to cause cardiac arrhythmia in a medium-sized dog. Most cottage garden videos show foxglove as a beautiful filler and never mention this. A subscriber in Tennessee lost a weekend to emergency vet bills after her lab chewed leaves from a cottage mix. She didn't know foxglove was in there. 2 more. Aconitum, monkshood. Aconitine alkaloid, ASPCA confirmed toxic. One of the most toxic plants in any temperate garden. Delphinium, delphinine alkaloid, ASPCA confirmed. Both are sold as standard cottage garden perennials. Both appear on the same recommended lists. Ladies' Mantle is not currently listed as toxic by ASPCA. That's genuinely good news. But absence from a toxic list doesn't mean confirmed safe. If you have pets that chew plants, always verify at ASPCA.org before adding anything new to your garden. We've covered why these plants spread and why 4 have ASPCA confirmed toxic status. Now, here's the part I actually get excited about. 7 plants. Same cottage garden look. Biologically verified to stay exactly where you put them. And 3 of them ASPCA confirmed non-toxic. I'll call each one out as we go. Starting with the one that almost no YouTube channel puts on their cottage list. Plant 1, Geranium roseanne. Plant it once and forget it. Big blue sprawling geranium, beautiful from late spring through autumn. Here's why it stays put. It's a sterile hybrid. The Royal Horticultural Society confirms this in their plant database. This cultivar does not set seed. No seeds, no seedling carpet, ever. Forms a loose clump, comes back in the same footprint each year. 0 seed management. Pet status. ASPCA does not list cranesbill geranium as toxic. Important caveat. ASPCA does list pelargonium as toxic. The 2 are commonly confused. Verify at ASPCA.org if your pets chew plants. Plant 2, Salvia nemorosa, caradonna. Tall purple salvia with the distinctive black stems. Chicago Botanic Gardens 2014 multi-year plant evaluation. Caradonna maintains a tidy clump and rarely self-sows. Fibrous root system, doesn't spread. Divide every 4 to 5 years if you want more plants, otherwise just leave it alone. Pet status, no ASPCA toxic listing, no flagged compounds. Plant 3, this one surprises most gardeners. Echinacea purpurea magnuses. Purple coneflower. It does produce seeds. Here's the thing. Research published in Hort Science found that echinacea seeds need cold stratification to germinate reliably. Without that cold moist period, germination drops to 3 to 5%. In a typical garden, those seeds fall, sit there, and almost none of them establish. The few that do are easy to spot and pull. Biologically self-limiting. And the birds love the seed heads through winter. Plant 4, Nepeta Walker's Low. Catmint. Hybrid, seeds generally sterile, no underground runners, clump-forming mound. RHS confirmed. Chicago Botanic Garden 10-year evaluation. No invasion observed. And here's the designation you've been waiting for. ASPCA confirmed non-toxic to dogs and cats. That's confirmed safe pick number 1. If you're halfway through this list, thinking you planted 2 of the toxic ones last season, don't panic. The next 3 plants are about to make this very easy. Plant 5. Heuchera Pallas Purple. Coral bells. Most cottage garden lists skip this because they categorize it as a foliage plant. That's exactly why I'm including it. Deep purple leaves with a silvery shimmer against pastel cottage blooms, the contrast is genuinely striking. Missouri Botanical Garden. Slowly spreading, non-invasive, very short rhizome, forms a tight clump. And ASPCA confirmed non-toxic to dogs and cats. That's confirmed safe pick number 2. Your neighbors will be asking about that purple plant before summer's out. Plant 6. Amsonia tabernaemontana. Blue Star. This is the most underrated plant on this list. Chicago Botanic Garden multi-year evaluation. No self-seeding observed across multiple growing seasons. Woody root clump, doesn't run, doesn't spread. Plant it once and leave it alone for 10 years. Spring, steel blue star flowers. Fall, clear bright yellow foliage. 3 seasons of interest, 0 management. 1 note, the milky sap can irritate skin when pruning, wear gloves. ASPCA has no toxicity listing. Keep pets from chewing the stems. Plant 7. Phlox paniculata, David. White garden phlox. Missouri Botanical Garden. Clump forming, not weedy. Any seedlings that appear are easy to control. They don't have the competitive drive of the bully plants. And your third and final confirmed safe pick. ASPCA lists garden phlox as non-toxic to dogs and cats. So to confirm, your 3 ASPCA confirmed non-toxic choices are Heuchera, Pallas Purple, Nepeta, Walker's Low, and Phlox David. For the other 4, no known toxicity, no flagged compounds, but always verify at aspca.org, especially if your pets investigate garden beds. Before the close, the numbers. 7 starter plants for a 3-meter by 1-meter border. Salvia around $8, Heuchera 10, Amsonia 9, Phlox 8, Echinacea 7, Nepeta 6, Geranium, Roseanne 10. Total, $53 to $70 depending on the nursery. Add shipping, around $12, and you're under $80 for the full border. For a border that runs itself for a decade, that's dirt cheap. I'll put links to Bluestone Perennials, Prairie Nursery, and High Country Gardens in the description. Not sponsored, these are nurseries I'd recommend to a friend. Let me bring it all together and close the question I opened at the start. The 3 cottage garden bullies. Yarrow, 1,600 seeds per season, plus underground runners. Foxglove, a 5-year seed bank in your soil. Ladies' Mantle, 3 weekends for 4 feet. All 3 directly replaceable with something better. And the 3 plants confirmed dangerous enough to remove today if you have pets. Foxglove, cardiac glycosides, potentially fatal. Aconitum, aconitine. Delphinium, delphinine. If any of those are in your garden and your pets spend time there, not next weekend. Today, here's your 1 action for right now. Go deadhead your yarrow or foxglove and bag the seed heads. Don't compost them. 5 minutes today saves 3 hours of seedling patrol next spring. Then check the plant list in the description and bookmark the nursery links. And when your border is looking its best in year 2, no battles, no replanting, your neighbors will ask what you changed. You don't need to explain the biology. Just tell them it's the right plants. Plant the right one once. No battles. No replanting. Just beauty. Less work. More harvest. Happy gardening. And the video right next to this one? It's all about perennials that choke out weeds before they even start. I'll see you there.